So I'm wondering how long it's been since you got onto the castor oil bandwagon. For me, it's been a couple years, and I didn't even know it was like a TikTok thing. My daughter told me like, oh yeah, everyone's talking about castor oil. It makes your eyelashes look longer and all that. If you've seen my first video, I was very honest about my liver detox needs, and that's how I came across castor oil. I was wondering how to clean up my liver, how to detox, and I came across a lot of videos on castor oil packs, and I couldn't get enough. I just kept researching. It got to the point I'm like, what can't you do with castor oil, you know? So I'm going to make my video around what I use castor oil for, and I'm going to tell you off the bat. Throw out all the castor oil packs. You don't need a cheesecloth. You don't need an ace bandage. You don't need a heating pad, but when I started entering the world of castor oil, I was kind of nervous. Like, how strong is this? Like, am I going to pass out if I just start putting it all over my body? I wasn't sure the effects and impact about castor oil, but I knew it was something I wanted to explore. So I did kind of like formal castor oil packs. I was real careful. I put the cheesecloth, soaked in the castor oil. I put it around, I timed it, make sure I was being real calm with it. And I said one day, it's like, this is a lot of work. I wonder if I just start putting castor oil over my body. What's it going to harm? Am I going to pass out? So I made the shift. I didn't throw them away. I have them packed away somewhere, all my little supplies. But I said, I know about putting oil in your belly button. Your belly button holds like hundreds and thousands of nerve endings. It's where our umbilical cord was back in the day when we were first growing and being born. And my understanding is that if you put a substance in your belly button, it kind of is a place where it just kind of can flood through your whole body. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to start sticking castor oil in my belly button. And the first time I did it, again, I keep repeating myself, but I kept asking, am I just going to get overwhelmed and just pass out? How strong is this stuff? I did not. And I said, this feels good. I like this. And as we care for our bellies, our big bloated bellies, it just felt good. I have, leftover stretch marks from having 5 pregnancies and five beautiful deliveries of my babies. And, over time and over a life experience of most women, our bellies have a lot of tracks, have a lot of marks through our growth and our changes and our transitions and what our bodies did as females. So midlife is not only a time to honor the transition of us getting into a new season, it is a time of honoring all the past seasons. And we have the marks to show it, most of us. So it felt very soothing, and then the more I started researching castor oil, I just kind of went in deep. So I'm going to show you what I have. I always they say to buy in a glass jar. This is the brand that I get from my health food store, you'll see it out there. But anything that you feel is like an organic, cold pressed, in a glass dark bottle is always what you want to look for. The darkness, the dark glass keeps it kind of more, it doesn't get lessened effect by sunlight. We're trying to avoid plastics, with just some of the plastic transfer. And so a glass bottle, dark glass bottle, organic, cold pressed castor oil is what you want to look for. And so I just got into this routine that not only involves putting it in my belly button, but I use it all over my face, my hands, I go up to my elbows, and every night or most nights, I put it in my little jar here, my little dish. And I say most nights because, as my son likes to say, Mom, you just turn into a big glazed donut. And so it's a thicker oil. You're going to get it on your sheets and your pillowcase and on your clothes. You got to make sure you're wearing clothes that's not going to get too oily, or you're not attached to. I usually wear black shirts at night, or just stuff that I'm okay getting all oiled up, because the benefits of putting castor oil on my face, my hands, my arms and my elbows, my belly button and my belly, I would say they were life-changing. Yes, I will say they have been life-changing. I'm hitting 51. I know I have wrinkles coming in. I know I'm prepared for more. I'm getting more wrinkles around here. I get wrinkles kind of heavy right here. But in the big picture, I know that castor oil has done amazing things to my skin. And so I'm very thankful for it. I think it's a valuable thing. Again, I don't do it every night. Usually I do it on a night where I know I take my showers in the morning. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to shower in the morning. I might as well get all castor oiled up and just fall asleep in it and have a good time. I'm not going to show exactly, or I'm not going to do it. I'm going to show you what I do. I'm not actually going to put it on because it's midday. I'm still trying to go out to maybe to the gym to get some sauna time. And I'm not ready to get all glazed donut out. So I'm just going to kind of imitate what I do. I love using it on my hands because, as women know, and men probably too, your hands don't lie. You might have all this going on, but you look down at someone's hands and it's a pretty good gauge of what decade they're in. And I'm not doing this out of vanity. Okay, maybe I am a little bit, because growing old is a kind of grieving process of what your skin and what your face look like versus what it's transitioning into. So that's there. But I do it because it feels good. It feels healthy. And I have, you might notice, we used to call them liver spots. I don't do any drinking, any heavy drinking, but I think sometimes I've seen people in my family that kind of have been drinkers. They get these dark, kind of not just freckles, but like heavy liver spots. And using the castor oil has lessened that. I think it's prevented me from going into full territory where I'm seeing these dark brown blotches all over my hands and my arms, and I like it. I do like it on my elbows, obviously. That's a part that we want to keep soft. And again, I'm not going to do it for real. I'm just going to kind of demonstrate. So I'll put some castor oil, I'll fill that up. And the thing about the face and skin is that it loves stimulation. It loves to be worked. And we can do that beneficial ways. I don't believe in yoga, so I'm not going to call it face yoga. I just do a lot of rubbing and a lot of patting. So I'll take get my castor oil, and I literally will just start tapping. I'll start tapping here, tap, tap, tap. And because I get little lines right here, maybe it's placebo effect, maybe it's the castor oil, maybe it's the movement, but it just feels good, and I feel my skin responds to it. So I'm taking my hands, and I'm just doing scissors, like Edward Scissors hands, right? So I'm kind of doing this. I get lines like up here, I've noticed. So I'm doing one of these. I might go like this. I'm just stimulating it with the castor oil. And the nice thing about castor oil compared to some oils is that you can get it all up in your eyes. Some people, I think, even put it like in their eyeballs. It's I'm no doctor, so please just take this as a little girl in Ohio, little woman in Ohio, given her experience. But I put it all around my eyes, my eyebrows. I do put on my eyelashes. You can probably see I have a little kind of like eye marks here, and these have gone down. Whatever these things are, these little eye tags, like they're still there. But since I've been using castor oil for the last couple of years, they have not gotten bigger. I feel like they've gone down. They definitely feel better. So with my eyes, again, I'm just doing one of these. Okay, then I'm constantly doing one of these. I'll get on my hands, and I love doing my cheeks, right? So again, it's like tap, 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 tap. And then I'll start doing this kind of motion, like literally like maybe a supernatural self-imposed facelift. That's what I'm thinking in my mind, right? So every night I'm kind of just, and it makes this like fun sound, And so you can do that, just a lifting. We kind of look at these lines around here and right here, like, what are we going to do about this? Like, we can't stop time, obviously, but we can biohack as much as we can. So take a little bit more castor oil, and I'm just doing one of these. I'm doing one of these. I started doing one of these, like a crisscross, because I have a very thin lip. I know this is going to be where my wrinkles will like to come out probably first. And so I'm just doing a little kind of just to stimulate, just a movement. And then this line around here, obviously, we're kind of just doing kind of just all over your skin. And then one friend told me who was into skincare, she said, don't forget about this part right before your ear and your earlobes. This part will sag over time. So I get a little castor oil, make sure I'm getting that spot there. All right, this is one of my favorite. I know there's a lot of neck kind of stuff that we're always kind of thinking about. So again, I'll take my, I'm taking my castor oil and I'm putting it here. And I love, for some reason, like, again, I don't know if it's placebo. I don't know if I'm fooling myself, but this just feels good. I got a bunch of castor oil and the sound, I like the sound. I'm just doing like crisscross underneath my chin. I love it. And then I'll take some more, get some more castor oil. And then I just do my whole neck. And I don't know, it's, I used to do EFT back in the days of my therapy. I forget even what it's called, but it was like different tapping. And so I don't know if it's the combination of the castor oil, my supernatural attempts of stimulating the skin to make it kind of feel youthful and subtle, or just the tapping itself or the sound. I don't know what it is, but it feels good. So I'm doing one of these. All right. And that's my routine. And there's some castor oil in my little dish here, so you can probably kind of see like. But if I would have done it in full effect, like you're just glowing, Castor oil doesn't have a strong smell. It is kind of a distinct smell. Warn your spouse or whoever you're with, your children, if they're going to make jokes of you looking like a glazed donut, just let them know. This is part of me loving on myself. And the reason we love on ourselves is because during perimenopause, during menopause, we start losing that estrogen that would give us that natural oomph and glow to our skin. As we're starting to lose that, we take action to counterbalance that through our diet, through our exercise, and through our castor oil routine. All right, so that's all I wanted to share. We'll talk about more oils later. Just as a tidbit, I do not use olive oil anymore for cooking. I only use avocado oil. I use olive oil of blessing my doors and my hallways and my anointing. I love using olive oil, for salads. If you keep it cold, it's fine. But avocado oil has that higher temp kind of ratio. So when you cook with it, it stays a good oil. Whereas olive oil turns into kind of like a bad oil when you cook with it. All right, so that's my little spew on that. And just thank you so much for joining me. If I didn't mention, my name is Jane. I am a God-led certified menopause coaching specialist. I'm here to support women especially, and men and their families, everyone that's around someone going through midlife. We're here to talk and we're here to support each other. So thank you for listening. I'm going to link a video to other kind of like my top 5 tools that I have in my toolbox as I enter into this full phase of perimenopause and menopause. So I hope you enjoy that. And just like and subscribe, hit that bell if you want to hear more content, share the video. And again, you're doing great. You're doing great. Use that castor oil because you'll just be glowing. Be filled with Holy Spirit so you're glowing from the inside out. We know that these external faces and this external quote unquote beauty is just external. What is a true value, the true beauty comes from inside. I know it's cliche, but the inner beauty that you walk around with is going to surpass any little tricks that you do with castor oil or any other biohacks that you have going on in your life. It's the inner beauty. It's the inner joy. It's inviting God in of His Spirit. The same Spirit that God is lives inside of us. And we use that to nourish many things, including our natural glow. All right. Have a great day, and till next time.